Hey there, everybody. I am in my laundry day clothes right now, but I thought I really wanted to give you an idea of my writing style a little more in depth. And so I figured I would start by writing something that I need to write, which is more music for The Return of Dracula the Musical. Now, I've got a handful of songs written for that already. We've got a duet between Mina and Lucy, which is called Gray. We've got a song for Van Helsing called Pater Noster. We've got, let's see, Dr. Seward is a bigger character in this one. We've got a song for him called Rest. We've got a song by Renfield. And actually, I don't know if I named that one or if it's just Renfield's song. Then we have a solo by Dracula called Dracula's Lament, a song by Dracula called I Need You. We have a duet between Mina and Dracula called, what is that one called? Lullaby, duh. And then we've got another duet, and I wasn't really sure who it was going to be between. It's called Balance, so it might be between Mina and Dracula, or Lucy and her suitor, who isn't Jonathan, but the other man whose name I can't remember right now. Might as well be Dr. Seward. This whole show is a messy retelling of Dracula, except from like the standpoint of like maybe you got like halfway through the book and then just decided you wanted to write your own ending. And so that's what the entire premise of this show is a completely alternate ending to Dracula. And then just the other day I wrote a song for Dracula's Wives, which I probably need to rename them, but right now their characters are named after 3 of the 7 deadly sins. So it's lust, avarice, and wrath. So they have a song now. I just feel like we need to keep adding music. The story, because it's so like freeform, we have the opportunity to write music for characters without needing to know a whole lot about the story. And so if we just give them something sort of general, we can always go back and tweak it and make things more specific to the plot that we come up with. But for right now, I'd like to give maybe another duet, because we don't have a whole lot of pieces where there are 2 characters interacting. There are a lot of solos: Seward's solo, Renfield's solo, Dracula's solo. So maybe that, or an ensemble piece. I think it might be interesting to do like some sort of love song where Lucy is interested in her suitor, which, as I said, that might as well be Dr. Seward. I think it is Dr. Seward in the book. It's been so long since I've read the book, I actually can't remember some of the plots because I've been working on this like bastardization of the story. There should be another male character though, one of the 2 suitors. So Jonathan Harker, who is Mina's, I believe, fiance, or at least he's courting her. and then someone courting Lucy, because there needs to be like Lucy gets sort of like drawn in by all of the occult, and so she's going to be interested in Dracula and have like a passing interest in Renfield, and maybe she has some sort of connection with Dr. Seward and even Van Helsing, and we need to explore all of the different relationships there and like how she gets into those relationships and what they mean to her. Like maybe the Van Helsing one is like a confusing fatherly relationship, because Van Helsing's not supposed to be her age. So maybe if we did a love song that was like your traditional love triangle trope, where we have Mina, Jonathan, Dracula. So Jonathan and Dracula are both vying for the attention and affection of Mina, and Mina's splitting her attention. But then we could also incorporate how Lucy has her suitor, and then also, you know, Renfield, and also Dr. Seward, and also, so like she's not as like nailed down to a one or two specific people, but she just like is embracing her sexuality, her femininity, her like everything. She's embracing her freedom. So that might be a good, interesting song, sort of love song that's just haywire. So let's write that. As I said, we do need more music for the script in general. We've got a lot written. A lot of this was written as a song a day challenge from years and years and years ago, and it's very interesting to see how my musical style has changed, because at that time I was experimenting a lot with minimalism in my music. And so I have, for instance, Van Helsing's song, Pater Noster, is, I think, 3 total notes the entire song, but it makes a full song. There it is, yeah. So B flat and A flat over B flat, so it's the implication of like a B flat 7 or B flat minor 7. And then F in the bass, keep the A flat up top. We move the interior note to a C, so it's just a spaced out open position F minor. And it repeats that until octave A flats over that repeating B flat and F motif, but there is one extra chord where it's a C major that passes through the F, which we've already played. So it starts on E, F, G, all over C. In there, but as I said, very minimalist. I was experimenting with that at the time, so I'm playing a lot more with chords that don't have full voicings, even though I'm implying a B flat 7 or B flat minor 7. The 3rd and the 5th are both missing from the chord. They're not played at all. So nowadays, I haven't done that as much. I've been experimenting more with Lydian and quartile harmony, and I've been working with like really dense voicing of extended chords, chord extensions beyond the seventh. So like you might hear something like this, where or both of those chords, one is effectively a D7 over C, but what that translates to is a C13 sharp 11. But it doesn't have its third. And then the other I was playing also didn't have its third. So it's got its fifth iterated instead of the 13. So now it's just a C, I guess C sus2 add sharp 11 maybe, because there isn't a seventh in there either. So yeah, I've been experimenting a lot with fourths, quartile harmonies, Lydians, which are sharp 11s, recently. I've always been very interested in the Lydian mode. It is, it's weird to say it this way, but the Lydian mode is the most major mode I have found, and then the Phrygian is also a contender for the most major, because the Phrygian mode has nothing but major chords diatonic. So there's a song I played for Castaway where that walk down is all major chords. And that's the Lydian mode. So I've always been interested in the Lydian because it has that sort of overly major feel to it. For this song, I went off on a tangent just now. And I try not to edit these because I want you to see that this is how quickly I work. Got a blank page here. I think I'm gonna go with the love song idea. I think that was the best one. And I guess we should just start writing. It should be easy to write the first bit because it should be between Mina and Jonathan and Mina and Dracula. So there should be a lot of like, you know, I can, a lot of control, frankly. A lot of the idea of like Jonathan, like, I can keep you, I can protect you, let me keep you safe, which is very controlling. Because even though like it's a good gesture, it's very much like not giving Mina any agency to, you know, take care of herself. It's implying that Jonathan does not trust her to make good decisions for herself. And then Dracula, his needs to be more of a, you know, come away with me. I know that you are tempted by my life of mystery and shadow, and there are, you know, treasures I can give you, and you just have to say yes. And so he's more coming from a standpoint of like putting a picture of their future out in front of her and saying, this is what I can give you if you'll come with me, but you have to come with me, and that's your choice. Now, like, not all of the things that Dracula can give are going to be healthy things. Like, you know, he's pretty much going to have to corrupt her soul in order to stay with her, right? Like, he's going to have to turn her into a vampire to be able to spend eternity with her. Even if she wants to stay human, she doesn't want to get turned, he's always going to have that temptation of draining her. And so there's going to be aspects of this where he has an animal nature, but that animal is man. And so his bestial sort of attitude is actually the worst parts of his humanity, where his supernatural elements can be romanticized. Okay, so let's start with that angle, the love story. We should pick a key. This musical is being played primarily on the piano right now, and because I'm playing it, we kind of don't need to worry about some keys being easier than others. I mean, obviously there are several keys with like a bunch of sharps or a bunch of flats that might give me a little hiccup in trying to translate it. I usually translate everything into the Nashville numbers in my head. So instead of thinking like, oh, I play C and then F and then C and then B flat, in my mind I'm thinking play 1 4 1 flat 7. And then if I was like, oh, actually we need to put this in the key of F sharp minor just for, vocal ranges, then if I'm thinking play 1 4 1 flat 7 might take me a second. Not too bad though. All right. Okay. So we need to pick a key. We've used B flat in Paternoster. We've used either D or G, I think, in I Need You. That's in D. Trying to think what else we've done. I'm pretty sure A or A minor in Dracula's Lament. I can't remember Gray. I can't remember Rest, and I can't remember Renfield's song. Actually, I don't want to use, I don't think B minor or F sharp minor, because they both relate very easily to D. C sharp minor? That was a bad choice. that. I said C sharp minor, but that was actually major. And oddly enough, I don't know why this is, but I think it's because I started getting really into music theory and stuff while I was in band before I was very good at the piano. So even though I was taking piano and I learned some music theory, I didn't get into advanced theory until I was in band. So for whatever reason, I think of C sharp major as D flat major in my head, but when it's minor, it's C sharp minor, not D flat minor. Whatever. But yeah, D flat major might work. Honestly, I just kind of started playing. I improvise a lot, so I wish I could say I had a better process, but I guess to kind of walk you through what I was just doing to kind of pick that was, I said C sharp minor, so I played C sharp minor. It didn't sound happy enough for a love song, so I played D flat. And then I went to the 4, which is G flat. And then I think the first time I played through, I went back to the 1, so plagal cadence, and then 2, 5, which is a standard jazz cadence. And then for the chorus or the B section, it's just 4 to 1. Keep for that B section, and that B section could be a pre-chorus too, that could lead into a chorus, but then the second time I played through, I took the 2 off of being like a root position chord, and I put it over the A flat, which is the 5, so 2 minor 7 over 5 to a 5 7. And what that translates to is a 5 7 sus 2 4. Is a 2 minor 7 over a root of the 5. And then it resolves to 5 7. And then that can resolve down, that has a name, I forget. I think that's a form of deceptive cadence, but that is a deceptive cadence. And then here, all I'm doing is I'm going to the flat 7, which is itself the 4 of the 4. So then I go 4 of 4, 4, so it's a secondary subdominant. And then a plagal cadence to resolve. that's easy. I actually really like that. So even though I was like noodling, I think, you know, why mess with it anymore? There might be things I add in, like I might change what position I'm playing the chords in order to get certain melodic elements to register a bit more strongly. So like instead of accenting with my ring finger and my pinky of my right hand this melody, or something like that, right? Okay, so one way I could change that, if maybe it's a male voice starting, that is really high to start a song, and the octave below it is low enough that it's kind of low impact. So it would be like, you know I love you, and I want to tell you so. Kind of low impact. But if you take it up the octave, you know I love you, and I want to... Almost, there's nowhere to go from there. So maybe I want to change it to being on the D instead of on the F, so I can start... something like that. So in that case, you know I love you and I want to tell you so. La, da, 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 da. That's a much more comfortable range. I can even take it down a little further if we decide like maybe Jonathan's a bass. And so hitting that D flat 4, it might be difficult. That might be something where if his voice is low enough, I want to tell you, like he would have to stretch for that. So I could move it down again. On the spot the same way I can make up melodies, but that I think the D flat is a great place to start because we can always go up to the F, the tenor can go up to the A flat, and then you've got somewhere to not only travel but like emotionally and with intensity. So talking about earlier, sharp 11 or sharp 4. So we can change small things about what we're writing, but for the most part, this a little bit differently. So we've got a real decent idea of what the music should sound like and whereabouts we want to start our melodies and travel where we want to travel with them. So now it just comes to writing lyrics. We have to decide, who do we want to start the song? Well, Jonathan is the possessive, controlling one, so I think Jonathan should probably start the song. He should be desperate for Mina, and he should be trying to convince her to let him take over, right? And then maybe Mina has a response to him, or maybe Dracula just takes over on the song and is like, but here are the nice things that you could have if you ignore that guy, and etc. So then we can move on to Lucy's story, maybe by verse 2. So if Jonathan's starting... I like the idea, especially because there's Lydians, there's minors, maybe that's Dracula, maybe that's his moment to retort instead of Mina responding to Jonathan. Maybe it's, I can give you this, I can give you this, and then maybe Mina has a response about how much she loves the you being like both of them. Maybe she's addressing both of them at once. Okay, so... I'm starting with, I almost said I want to save you, being Jonathan's first line, but even that's kind of heroic, and so we're going to start with something a little dodgier. I want to shield you, because even though that has a sort of heroicism to it, it's also, again, like not trusting that the person can defend themselves or take care of themselves. It's like, ooh, I want to get in front of this thing for you, which can also be very unhelpful. Like, so I want to shield you. Mina, let me hold you close. And I also, this last time I was noodling, found a melody that I like for that. I like outlining that major 7. Like that. I wanna shield you, me to let me hold you close. I feel like there's a wistfulness to that major 7. We're doing a major 9 even. So I wanna shield you, me to let me hold you close. Oh, that's even better because we're outlining the root, the tonic on the 4th. So let me hold you close. So I wanna shield you, me to let me hold you close. Da, 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 da. So we need more of that. I like that too. Climbing up to the 4th, from the 5th, we use the 13. So we change that from A flat 7 to A flat 13. And then it's got that nice step walk up. Okay, perfect. Oh, but I'm not doing lyrics. I wanna shield you, me to let me hold you close. Maybe I want to kiss you. Ow. I want to kiss you. Ah, perfect. I want to wake you with a kiss. At morning light. And I might change that to dawn's first light, even though that feels like it goes over the phrase a little bit. Where light falls might lend itself to being a standalone rhyme versus if it's I wanna wake you with a kiss at morning. Oh wait, no. I wanna wake you with a kiss at morning light. The ing light seems like the rhyme instead of just light. I wanna wake you with a kiss at dawn's first light. separates the words a little bit. So I don't have to rhyme like feeling right with morning lights, because there's an extension of the rhyming sort of phrase. So at dawn's first light, you could do any, like I could rhyme it feels all right, and that sounds better than morning light. I'm actually just going to go ahead and make that change. Dawn's first light. Now the reason I changed from I want to kiss you to I want to wake you with a kiss is because, again, he is not considering her agency. He isn't considering the fact that, you know, just because she may have wanted that once, she still needs to give permission for it. And so, like, he's saying, effectively, he wants to disregard her desires, her wishes. Even though that sounds like a nice gesture and everything, and it's not like he's not getting like overly aggressive or anything like super problematic. It's still just like, I'm building this character piece by piece to be just kind of like entitled, like he's not a monster, he's a human being. He just he needs to learn to empathize a little bit better with people. And so it's not like, he's not like a cancel culture person where, like, you know, the stuff that he's doing is so upsetting that everyone's like, gross, you should have never been with him, he shouldn't be alive or work ever again or be in prison or anything like that. I don't want to establish that kind of character. I just want to establish a normal human being who, like, just doesn't have good social experiences with people, and so he thinks that he's being nice and thoughtful, and in reality he is that's coming from a place of like entitlement and selfishness, where he isn't considering the other person to have agency and feelings and individuality. So that's my goal here. So kiss you, I want to wake you with a kiss, right? He's saying he wants that, right? It almost doesn't matter what she wants. She is unconscious at that point. I want to wake you with a kiss. So let's I want to shield you, Mina, let me hold you close. I want to wake you with a kiss at morning light. Kiss at dawn's first light. And then we need another kind of couplet to go with this. So maybe we can also increase the desperation. He says, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to shield you, I want to wake you. Maybe at some point there needs to be, I need you in my life. Because that's how this kind of individual kind of functions. They don't mean to, but they just get really controlling and really possessive because they're not empathizing with the other person. They're not considering the other person's individuality. So I want to wake you with a kiss at dawn's first light. I need you near me. So the rhyming word is close if we decide we want it to rhyme. I think it probably should. It should be like A-B-A-B, maybe not A-B-C-B. I need you near me, close. The only rhymes I'm thinking of right off the bat are like a completely unusable. Varicose and morose, sucralose. Close. Comatose. None of these work. But sometimes saying them helps get them out of my head. Verbose. All right, now I consider, since I'm exhausting a lot of options, let me hold you tight. And then tight rhymes with dawn's first light, so we have to decide, is it now AABB? I wanna shield you, Mina, let me hold you tight. I wanna wake you with a kiss at dawn's first light. I need you near me, da-da-da-da-da, rhyme, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, rhyme. We could do that. We could do that. Let's give it a shot. I don't want to do "ite" rhymes 4 lines in a row, so let's do AABB. I need you near me. Maybe putting the onus on her improperly as a form of like emotional manipulation, like the "when you're gone, I don't work right," as if that's like on her. I need you near me when you're not. I want to say I cannot breathe, but breathe is another hard rhyming word. I have no breath. I need you near me when you're not. I have no breath. No. I think it's a little too dramatic to say "when you're gone, I feel like death" or something like that. I need you near me. I need you near me, dear, you're always on my mind. That way we also have a little internal rhyme play with near and dear. Do we have that anywhere else? No. But we do have want to wake, so a little alliteration. I need you near me, dear. Oh, what did I say? I need you near me, dear. You're always on my mind, sorry. And then maybe like just drive home his attraction to her physically versus like on a deeper level. I need you near me, dear, you're always on my mind. Even thoughts about your beauty are so bright I might go blind. So bright I might, we've got that internal rhyme again, go blind. I wrote bling. Bling. Blind. Okay. Perfect. Now, just to make sure everything fits. Actually, I think how I'm doing this, I need to play this as a D flat major, not as a D flat major 7, because the major 7's only a half step away from the root, and so it'll be really difficult for the person to find their starting pitch otherwise. I want to shield you, Mina, let me hold you tight. I want to wake you with a kiss at dawn's first light. I need you near me, dear, you're always on my mind. Even thoughts about your beauty. That doesn't fit metrically. Even thoughts. So thoughts would have to be the downbeat. Oh, let's see. I need you near me, dear, you're always on my mind. Even thoughts about your beauty are so bright I might go blind. And then bright I might go blind. Okay, I want to give Dracula a pickup note that's on the F. So when we hit that A flat 11, he's already up there. So let's see. Yeah, I like that. I like that melody. So at the end there, he's going something here, right? Which is on top of the B flat minor, C flat major, G flat major. So it'll be something here. Whatever the words end up being, I just sang something here. So. I want Dracula. Dracula come in on like I have or we have, something like that. So he's not talking about what he wants to do. He's talking about what they've already done as proof that what he desires is a mutually beneficial thing. So, and I think I want to talk about them having like deep discussions. So I'm going to start with we have, which is the pickup. We've talked at length throughout the evening. We give each other's words new meaning. Your mind is just like poetry to me. How about I long to feel you near me, for when I speak you hear me. Long to feel you near me, for when I speak, you hear me. Let's see. I think to be is the rhyme here, because it's supposed to be, your mind is just like poetry to me, so it needs to be something to be, and like obviously meant to be is good. Oh, I thought of something better. We can sing our song eternally. Okay, and then I think we need to musically write and lyrically write a new section that's going to be maybe Mina's chorus that is a response to Jonathan and Dracula. and then Lucy can have her verses, and maybe Lucy's in that section of the song, Lucy is singing to the different people instead of people singing to her, because she is more actively pursuing people than they are pursuing her. Okay, so I wanna shield you, Mina, let me hold you tight. I wanna wake you with a kiss at dawn's first light. I need you near me, dear, you're always on my mind. Even thoughts about your beauty are so bright I might go blind. And then Dracula comes in here. We have talked. Okay, sorry. We have talked at length throughout the evening. We give each other's words new meaning. Your mind is just like poetry to me. Mind is just like poetry to me. I long to feel you near me. No. Okay. I long to feel you near me, for when I speak, you hear me. So that's, let's see. We can sing. All right, so then it goes, let's see. So, for when I speak, you hear me. We can sing a song eternally. Okay, I also like this idea musically. Back to the tonic. So Dracula's up on the fourth. Back to the tonic for Mina. So that's a 1-5, which we haven't heard yet. Then we go to the 6 minor. So then to the flat 7, which parallels Dracula's a little bit. think about a response from Mina where she's essentially saying, I love you both, but as if she is talking to them both at the same time and saying, I love you. But like they can't hear, they don't know that each other is there. So Dracula and Jonathan aren't aware of each other's existence in this instance. Sorry, that was a weird rhyme. And Mina's talking to both of them at the same time. So... in there. I don't think I want to go to the fourth both times either. Be a good way of like resetting to the verse, since the chorus ends on a D flat and then the verse starts with a D flat, is just having a little moment of just jump right in. I almost said dig in. I want Mina's words. My soul begins to heal with all you make me feel. And then I need... soul begins to heal with all you make me feel. explore the depth of her passion. But I'm trying to avoid using the word love, just specifically as an end rhyme. Soul begins to heal with all you make me feel. I'm working with like a concept of like time being an enemy, because, you know, she recognizes maybe she wouldn't feel the pain that she's feeling for loving two people that want nothing to do with one another. Were she to discover one of them at a completely different time in her life, right? But also, like, there's an element of, like, time being an enemy. Jonathan's only going to be around for so long. Dracula's eternal. You know, there's something there, too. My soul begins to heal with all you make me feel. Time is the only enemy. To the love I have for you. I want to say that specifically as a poly person writing about a love triangle. This is always very difficult, because it's like, oh, why not the both, you know? So in this instance, it's because they want nothing to do with one another. Dracula and Jonathan don't like each other. And so that is, I guess, a little bit why she's sort of going under the radar with some of this too. But yeah, she's also saying that, like, you guys aren't enemies to one another. You don't have to be. Time is a jerk that had this all happen all at once, and, you know, one day I'll die, one day Jonathan will die. Unless I stay with Dracula, then neither of us will die, but Jonathan will die, and, you know, complicated. So, let's see. My soul I'm singing down an octave from where she would be. My soul begins to heal with all you make me feel. Time is the only enemy to the love I have for you. Time is the only enemy time is the only enemy to the love I have for you. Time is the only enemy to the love I have for you. And then she gets a reiteration as well. I live more when we are one. Actually, instead of I live more, life feels full. Life is full when we are one. I have something. I have like quests, but that's not the right word. I have duties. I have goals. I have responsibilities. I have personal tasks, jobs. I have... It's, you might see where I'm going with this already, but I have something left undone. And I don't want to say something, even though that actually fits as a sentence. Life is full when we are one. I have, fill in the blank, left undone. Goodness gracious, it's like missions is the only thing I can think of that fits the meter, but it's not quite right. I have chores. Life is full when we are one. But certain dreams are left undone. Though you make me feel time is the only enemy to the love I have for you. Life is full when we are one, but certain I didn't write dreams. I just wrote certain dreams are left undone. But certain dreams are left undone. Okay. Let me try what I've written so far. Life is full when we are one, but certain dreams are left undone. Whoa! We could share our dreams together. It's all I want to do. Spend it's going to have to be that G flat. What I want to do is spend forever with you. Spend my forever with you. Maybe not even spend. Spend is so transactionary. We just said share. Maybe live my forever with you. Okay, so Mina's part. My soul begins to heal. Sorry. My soul begins to heal with all you make me feel. Time is the only enemy to the love I have for you. Life is full when we are one, but certain dreams are left undone. We could share our dreams together. It's all I want to do is live my forever with you. I think is to live. It's all I want to do to live my forever with you, not is. Take is out. So it's all I want to do to live my forever with you. And then eventually that can be more and more singers, and yeah. I'm going to end this here because there's obviously more work to do, but again, you've gotten a glimpse inside my writing process. It's much slower when I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, but in the same vein, some of the justifications I'm making for what I'm doing, I'm now realizing aloud, which allows me to continue using certain patterns instead of just internalizing everything and being like, oh, that sounds good, that feels good, this is a good feeling of the meter or whatever. As I'm saying it out loud for my explanation of why I'm doing it, it's like, oh yeah, that is why I'm doing that. I should keep doing that. So it's beneficial for me too, but it is a much slower going process. If I had been doing this on my own, I can almost guarantee this entire song would be finished by now. But as I said, I'm going to leave it here. If you haven't checked out my Facebook, it's Brad Torres HTX on Facebook. There's also a Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/TheLicensedFool. That is my handle. or just, you know, Google search me. I've got a lot of stuff out there. I've got a LinkedIn, I've got a YouTube page, I've got a SoundCloud, a Bands in Town. And if you feel like sending me some love in the digital currency kind, I've got a Venmo that is at the New Tribesman, and that's men plural, MEN. So, and then I also have PayPal and other stuff. There should be links to some of that on my YouTube channel page, and I also have a Patreon. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please consider doing so. And if you would like to see more content like this, if you want to get first access to it, behind the scenes stuff, and just help me with my production quality, consider becoming a subscriber on Patreon. My Patreon is also, I believe, the Licensed Fool. But yeah, I've got links to my Patreon pretty much everywhere, on Facebook, on my website, and on my YouTube channel. My website is extremely convoluted, but if you can find it good for you, it's wbradleytorres.wixsite.com/home until I can afford a domain for it. So, thanks again for watching. Hopefully we didn't go over an hour. I was not timing this. We may have, though, which is, it kind of feels like it, so that's why I'm ending early. And I'll upload a separate video with the finished version of this song very soon. Thanks for tuning in.